It's already broken.
Jordan's making a death-defying run.
Let's watch.
Jordan is making a death-defying run. Oh, wow. You almost messed up. I can't believe you did that, Jordan. That was a really good jump,
This house
actually.
feels like it's hollow.
I hit Spencer's chair with my arm. Welcome, everyone, to the Hubcast.
Welcome to the Hubcast.
Welcome to the Hubcast.
Well,
I'm going to upload that to the Creatures Instagram.
welcome to the Hubcast, everyone. We'd like to thank Blue Apron for sponsoring this episode of the Hubcast. I'm sorry, Sarah, for freaking you out.
Oh, look, it's
Wait, do you say Blue Apron?
Yes,
I like Blue Apron.
I do too. Man, sorry
That's how
about
Jordan's
that.
healthy enough to hop that fence.
damn. No.
So we'll talk about them a little
Is
bit
anyone
later.
here signed in to the Hub on Instagram?
No,
If my phone's
that's the only
charging.
thing I'm
I'll
not
do it
signed
later.
into on is the
I'll do it
Instagram.
later.
I wish I was.
Goodness, that was quite the jump right there.
Yeah, scared Sarah. You did scare her. She was like,
Jordan,
scare
go
her
from that
at
extenuous
all.
physical
Yeah,
activity
what happened to
right
the
into talking.
frames?
what is happening?
Is it seriously
forehead is
just
so
like
shiny.
dying on us right now?
Dropping hella frames. I'll go check it out.
Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
I see it drop right there.
Yay.
Did,
Oh, did you see that one?
yeah, I can see the graph on Twitch. That's kind of a nice little feature they added. So I know you guys.
It's no longer dropping frames.
It must have just been a little lag spike that happened. I'm not really sure what, because
we're streaming at a really high rate. It's at 6,200.
I know.
God damn.
That was for the...
Damn.
I call that
Come here.
selfish.
Come in.
That's not selfish. That's the new regulatory. I can't even see.
We're fine now.
Okay, so apologies if we end up dropping any more frames, but you should be able to hear our audio pretty good no matter what. That
pretty
usually
good.
always translates through. So welcome everyone to the Hubcast for today,
April 6th.
which is April 6th. And we were joined by a little doggo today.
So sorry.
Little puppy.
Little Sarah.
She's
We've had to
Sarah's.
keep an eye on her recently and she's wearing that little onesie because of the fact that she got spayed.
No more
about-
Sarah's puppies in the future.
I
Yeah,
know.
sadly.
She would
Wait,
make
did I-
beautiful puppies too.
Did I
but-
bump the camera? Or did Steph just scoot over a lot?
All of just.
Should I scoot back over?
This is just full
I
of
was hoping-
technical issues.
Yeah, well-
What a great podcast.
So Sarah's got spayed,
Little
and then she came home and we got her a onesie, so she didn't have to wear the cone,
Yay.
so it works out pretty well. And we just have to keep an eye on her and make sure we keep her calm for the most part.
Except for when she turns into Houdini and gets out of it in the middle of the night, and we gotta wake up at 4 a.m. to put it back on.
Yeah, she's been doing good though for the most part. She's
Yeah.
a little crazy, but
Sarah's
she's
took
doing
over your
good.
spot.
Sarah's, this is my spot.
She's pretty much healed. She's
big.
I know.
her
isn't
wounds
she?
pushed the sutures out, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's got a little bigger. She's hanging out with us for today, so hopefully she doesn't
Yay.
whine too much and
oh,
complain. And then apologies that we missed last week's Hubcast, but it was for a good cause.
That stream was really fun too.
We
Yes.
streamed for takethis.org and raised in 2.5 hours or 2 hours. I don't know.
It was about 2.5, 3 hours.
2.5, 3 hours. We raised 35 or 25.
3,200,
3,200. Oh yeah,
Something like that,
that's
I
right.
think.
It's 3,200. I think was around the final number.
which is
It was
crazy.
so great.
It was
so
a
fun.
lot of money. It was nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. So
And we were number one on their website for that
cause.
day, I think.
Helping a good cause for that, so it was very cool. So thank you everyone
That
who
was great.
showed up for that. So apologies, Hubcast was not last week, but it is this week on a different day. We had a little bit of a schedule switcheroo. So we usually stream these on Wednesday, but today we're streaming on Thursday and getting it uploaded on Thursday.
Because
so.
of Sarah's.
Yes,
because of
Sarah's.
Sarah and her ridiculousness.
Yes,
But
we've had to switch a lot.
She
around.
should be healed by the end of this week. Hey, yeah, I forgot. If you're subbed on my channel, you can use the Sarah emoticon.
There
thing.
she is.
There she is right
look at
there.
her little cardboard TV.
Well, if you're
stick.
subbed on my channel, you could do the Blazed Dan
If you're
That's
which would be
really
appropriate right
I don't
now.
want to see that
if
one.
you're subbed on my channel, you can do my face where I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I have that, and I have a cartoon Spencer face.
Oh my gosh.
The cartoon
I
face
don't
is
have any
better.
faces.
That's the little
do you
link
get?
one, right?
What do you get
Yeah.
for subscribing to Sarah's channel?
Oh my gosh, Sarah, do you want to make a Twitch?
24-hour live puppy cam.
That would be
Sarah's
so funny.
Patreon.
I'd do it.
Sarah's.
Yeah,
I would
she
do a
could
Sarah's
make the most money
Patreon.
on Patreon to date.
And all we use we do stretch goals and make video game character costumes to make her wear because that apparently
Oh
is
my
the
God.
that apparently is the
That'd
new
be
Shiba.
great.
the
There's
new
There's
Understand.
someone
Shiba.
already doing Overwatch costumes for Shibas, so you just need to do like Witcher.
Oh, I've
Legend of
seen
Zelda.
the
She could
Overwatch
dress
ones.
up as Saris from Witcher.
She'd be a good link.
Good.
Oh, cute Link.
She'd be a great link.
I wanted
So,
to dress her up as Wendy Williams.
Sarah's
really bad, too.
cosplay
What's up with
Patreon.
you and Wendy Williams?
I
What's
just
this
love
fascination?
Wendy. It's
Wow.
just a thing. I don't know.
Is it like reality TV to a point where you watch it because people are just acting in a way you don't see
She's
normally.
a legitimate fan of the Jersey Shore.
I am. I did love
that's
Jersey
true.
Shore. I love Jersey
It is
Shore.
true. But I mean, I love reality TV.
I do too.
That's good reality TV. I don't know. No reality TV is really that great, but
no,
I
I
like
get
food
it.
reality TV.
Yeah, no, I just like to make Wendy things because it's Wendy. So,
Puppy.
Weird.
It's okay,
Wendy.
Poopy.
Wendy Williams is possibly the worst host I've
but
ever
she's on
seen.
every morning when I'm getting ready. So she's just on in the background, and the audience does that, and then she sits down. And she's like, "Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm
No, I
thinking
love
about
that.
her.
It's great.
I'm sorry."
Unbelievable.
Anyway, let's get on with
Did
the real
you
topics.
want to talk about Mass Effect? Because I don't think you've gotten a chance yet, have you?
More. He's
did
I
last
think
time.
chatted
yeah,
about
we
it a
talked
little
about
bit.
it.
Yeah.
Did we a little bit? Okay.
Over the
It was
last
like
one.
that the animation.
Any since then, like how is it rounding out for you? Is it still good? Because you were pretty positive about it. Everybody
I mean-
seems to be crapping on it whenever I see people talking
Oh
about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because everyone's always going to go out of their way.
Sarah.
Sarah, stop it. Everyone's going to go out of their way to just kind of jump on the hate train for it. But there's been a few more incidences where there's just crappy facial animations. But really, I was talking to Spoon about this. It doesn't detract very much at all. So like, I'd say 85%, maybe, I mean, even less than that. I'd say like, 95% of the game has good animations and cool stuff, but that 5% is what leaked out there and everyone freaks out about.
I feel like that running animation is people deliberately trying to trigger the running animation, where you run back and forth and it's like, ooh, and you have spaghetti legs.
Oh,
You seen that one?
I haven't seen that
No,
one.
that's
no.
one I see a lot. But I think people are like deliberately hitting, like when they're running forward, they go side to side as well. So they're
I've,
going
like I said, I've had
a
a few glitches here and there, but like it just doesn't detract that much because otherwise it's an awesome game and it's really fun. Like I had an experience where I invaded this massive enemy base and it was just like 20 minutes of just constant like crazy combat because my combat style is I play Vanguard and basically that's a melee / shotgun dude, so he charges. You can lock onto a target and charge him. So I'll just jump around the battlefield and just charge up into guys' faces and use my cryo gauntlet that freezes them, and then use my shotgun to shoot them. So it's like it was just crazy insane.
shatter?
Yeah, they do. If you get a good shot in there, they will shatter.
Someone said that they ran into a glitch that won't allow them to finish one of the planets. But aside from that, they love the game.
Yeah, I mean it's a great game. It's just
Which
it
that
has
stuff
its,
will be patched as well, I assume, at some point. Maybe?
I don't know. I don't know if they'll go back and patch too much. I mean, they might. It would be nice if they did, but
I don't know. It seems like the games that do really well patch often, like Overwatch,
well, that's a
Titanfall.
That's
too.
an
Those are
online game that's ever
different.
updating.
Yeah.
But
When there's
Titanfall 2
balanced
as
stuff
well
and
balances and updates DLC for free. Not saying that everyone needs to do free DLC, but typically games that update regularly, not even like content-wise, just bug-wise, typically do well.
We'll see what kind of fixes they roll out.
Yeah,
I'm
but then-
assuming there's gonna be a first patch.
I know
at
it's
some
EA.
point.
You have
as
like
well, so-
Fallout and Skyrim and stuff that have known issues for everybody's
Yeah,
playthrough,
that's true.
and they never release
Yeah,
patches for that
single
stuff,
player, it's
so.
not really worth it unless it's like game breaking, devastating. There's not really a reason to, there's not a reason to patch, and patches
Yeah.
usually cost a lot of money if you're distributing on different platforms. And
And the ones that do have
consoles.
patches are typically games that also have a major multiplayer component.
yeah.
Apparently, a patch
PvP.
came out today for Mass Effect.
Can you zoom in
Oh, there
the
you go.
screen a little bit more?
Yeah.
Sorry. Chew those wires, Saris.
Apparently, there's a patch today.
Oh, really?
And someone said
Okay.
the multiplayer needs patching really bad.
Yeah, it
Weapon
was.
biotic damage is too weak.
Oh, okay. So I played a little bit of multiplayer. Yeah, just zoom in on that a little
You
more.
have to hit
hold
and
control
then
and zoom.
scroll.
Just
there you
yep,
go.
There we go. There we go. Just nope. Yeah, that was perfect. There we
Perfect.
go.
Yep.
Then scroll down so you get back to live.
Hey,
There we go.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
There was the multiplayer was glitchy. I mean, it was about as glitchy as the Mass Effect 3 stuff, so I wasn't really too surprised by that. But
I like
mean,
the
yeah,
Mass
it's-
Effect
it
3
could always
multiplayer.
be-
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing with a little bit more depth to it. Not really.
Hey, I've been getting back into the first one now because I've tried to start it twice.
You can do that on the couch.
And I got like 5 or 6 hours in both times I started, because every single time I went back, I was like, I need to start a new character now for some reason.
Which I understand that. I do that for Skyrim. Every single time I play it, I'm like, I'm going to create a completely different character.
Then you go through the same bullshit, and then you just get tired of it.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I still am going to make the same choices because apparently I'm not strong enough to be bad. Every single game, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a bad character. And I go to do it, I'm like, I can't do it, man.
Yeah. I only like doing it after I've already played through doing good, like, the entire time, because that's usually what I go for. There would be some characters that I'm assholes to. I decked that guy in the face like really early on in the first Mass Effect, but people were telling me to do that in my chat.
Yeah, that guy's kind of a weirdo.
He's just like, and
he's just obviously broken mentally from
well, she was
everything.
like, I asked the lady what's wrong with him, and she, yeah, you can punch
He's
him.
broken mentally. I should punch him.
He was option
he
to shut
was-
him up because he was just going like crazy. And the lady was like, some of our researchers are more emotional than others. And I was like, yeah, this guy is fucking.
It just seemed like he had like a kind of an unstable,
Oh, man.
emotional / mental past.
Also, a bunch of people just died. So.
Yeah, and he was kind
So you're
of
kind
freaking
of like,
out.
hey,
You're
dude,
like,
come
hey.
back. I can't deal with this right now.
It was just like I can't risk having this guy freak out and do something to me. So you're just like, ugh. But the punches in Mass Effect 1 are disgusting. I don't know if you noticed that, where he just kind of like flails. It's pretty good.
Disgusting.
Don't
It's
worry,
fucking
there's
gross.
plenty more
Just
punch
nasty.
opportunities, especially in Mass Effect 2. I don't know if you remember that Lyle's disingenuous assertions thing, but
There's a Mass
that's probably
Effect
one of the.
ride?
Yeah, there's one coming to. Or wait, is it already on? It's already there. Yeah, it's at Great America.
That's Great America.
It's just the park that's right next to Disneyland in L.A. If I'm not mistaken, right?
No, that's Knott's Berry Farm.
No. Like right next to it. It's either California's Great
maybe.
America or it's the Six Flags in California. I can't remember.
Is it Rex's Fun Tunnel?
No, it's something about Reapers or something.
I would want it just to be a tunnel that has some lights, and it's just like Shepherd. And it's just like you just hear it go by over and over again, and then you just come out at the end.
That's just he's leaning up against the thing, stands up. Shepherd.
Apparently, The Walking Dead episode 3 is
Shepherd.
coming out soon. The game.
That already came out.
Oh, did it already
yeah,
come out?
Yeah, it's like on
Oh.
the second
Didn't-
episode.
The third episode
Third
came out.
episode,
They
yeah.
they did a 2-episode release for the launch, so there were 2 episodes right off the bat, and then it took them forever to get around. For a couple months, it took like 3 months for the third episode to come out. It felt like forever, but 3 months is a long
I
time.
want to play him so bad.
Yeah,
And
that's
everyone
good.
keeps asking if I'm going to play him. Like, yeah, I'm going to
good
play
so
him.
far.
And
I really only want to play
want
them
to.
after they're all out because recording Game of Thrones and Tales from the Borderlands was a nightmare. From the first episode of me recording it to the last episode took over a year of them releasing it, which I get. I don't want them to rush anything, but as recording it, it's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Which
Oh.
they don't need to think about what I'm doing, but that's why I'm not
Yeah.
recording them.
And in a couple weeks here, the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale episode 1 is coming out.
Oh yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
really?
April 20 something, I think.
That'd be
23rd,
cool.
26th.
It's coming to the Switch as well.
Switch.
Ooh,
Interesting.
the Switch.
Well, they've been all on mobile and on every platform, so the fact that they're coming on the Switch isn't
Isn't
that
too
surprising
surprising,
because they're on every other platform anyway.
Initially,
That's how
people
they make
thought they
their
were going
money.
to get
Must be.
ahead of launch. Apparently, we're getting it after launch for Switch. But a lot of people thought it was going to be an exclusive to
Oh, wow.
Switch for a little bit.
Interesting.
I don't think it is, though. Yeah. But Nintendo Switch has some new games coming out. Post-launch! We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh,
So
And-
that's
what's
not a new
deluxe?
game.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one
like-
new game mode.
It's called Recycled.
No, it's not one new game mode.
Recycled.
There's 5
And
new
new
game
maps.
modes, new maps, and new characters.
Yeah.
But
So
the
it's a
new game
DLC,
mode, they have
but you have
cops
to
and
buy it again.
robbers.
Oh, I used to play that in high school.
So
pretty
essentially,
cool.
there's people in cars with a piranha plant on them, and then there's people that don't have that. And the piranha plant people are the police, and they have to catch all the people
Oh,
that don't.
that's
and
cool.
that would be fun for us to record. And then Arms is coming out too.
What's ARMS?
It's like a fighting game where your arms are like on slinkies. You're just like,
Is it a Joy-Con game?
yeah, it is.
Gotcha.
And we'll play that too.
Well, good old Switch and its many array of awesome games. Maybe if they restocked their shelves with them, more people would play it too.
You're just salty because you can't. I mean, I don't blame you.
Still haven't gotten a Switch yet? How long has it been since
Oh,
launch?
I haven't even tried for a while. Apparently, they're slowly trickling in again, and people have been getting them. But
I saw
have
on
no
Reddit
idea.
today that they're available in Japan right now.
Oh yeah,
They're probably
well,
gone.
I mean, they sell out instantly almost. So one time, I've got plenty of other stuff to do, so I'm not too
Yeah.
He has
Yeah,
other things to do
Dark
besides
Souls
the Switch.
and Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think they don't manufacture enough so they can have that kind of trickle out effect where they keep selling games consistently and stuff like that?
Yeah,
That
I'm
even
sure.
make
I'm sure
sense or
there's
no?
some, some things behind
To
that.
undershoot. Either that, and you also don't want to overproduce for something you're not sure.
Yeah,
about
I
how
think
it's
there's
gonna-
like
They
kind
did
of
say they were
biggest thing.
surprised by it, but it's everything Nintendo does. Whether it be a console, a game, or
Yeah,
amiibos,
well,
they always underproduce. And
It's
I don't know if
always
that's
better
intentional.
to do so because, especially with hardware where you're sinking in, I don't know, it probably costs them
They-
$30 to $50 per console to make.
No, they said. Wait, what do you mean?
Like on their manufacturer cost to make
Yeah.
a physical console is probably like
A
that
lot
much.
of money went into making that
Wait,
console.
how much is it?
but like that
$200?
stuff, but
They
not
sell
like
it for
the-
$300, and they said it cost them $270 some odd dollars.
Yeah,
to
it probably
make.
only cost them like. I mean, yeah, if they count the past like 10 years of salaries for everyone, then yeah.
that's
But
the-
I mean, as far as physical hardware costs, like there's like an ebb and flow to how you need to gauge, people, so you're not overproducing, but you're also getting big, bulk discounts and whatnot. So I'm sure it's kind of a side like benefit to have it trickle out like that. So, it's, whatever that word is that I'm trying to find in my brain.
trickle out.
Trickle it out.
Trickle it out, man.
Are we talking about shows and TV? Like, early on
What's
games?
our list of topics?
Well, I had a show I wanted to bring up when we got to the shows.
you bring it up then.
Have you heard of 13 Reasons Why?
I've seen a couple
It's-
ads.
Liz and I started watching it. Yeah.
Do you love it?
Because
I
fell
just
asleep
finished-
during the second episode. I was just super tired.
Oh yeah.
Lights on back here. I was wondering what felt weird about this.
Oh yeah, this does feel weird. This feels so
I was
weird.
trying to put my finger on it, and I just couldn't think about it.
But yeah. You
Yes,
started
it has that kid
from Don't Breathe.
from Don't Breathe, and from Goosebumps. He was at the Alamo. I got to see him and
Oh, you
a
did?
poster signed by him
Logan
and Jack
Lerman
Black. And
look-alike? Or
yeah, he
sound
looks
alike?
like he reminds like anytime I see him, I'm like, oh, it's not Logan Lerman.
I know. He made a joke on his Twitter. He's like, April Fool's, guys. I'm Logan Lerman.
Oh,
But-
that's funny.
Yeah, no, I wanted to watch that show so bad, and I binge watched it like just all day, and then into the next day I went to the gym and I put it on and I watched it, and I loved it. It was so good.
Oh, you watched the
it
whole
gets
thing?
so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
What
it
is it about?
escalates and just gets.
So
Idiot
yeah.
high schoolers.
It's about it's about a
Pretty-
girl who killed herself because of some reason, and this like her. Do all of them end up getting the tape? Does it end up going through?
It goes through all the people.
So she before she killed herself though, she made tapes taking people through her like what happened and why she did it and what individual people had to do with it and stuff. And it's kind of like this, kind of
Yeah.
like young adult, teen, high school
Idiocy.
mystery
like
kind
how
of story.
What bullying and
yeah,
can
yeah.
do and like the effects and just all. It's so good. It's so good. It was a book, I guess. And then they made it into a Netflix show because everyone kept saying it
Very
was
much
such a
seems
good
like a
book,
book.
and yeah, but it's oh my god, Dan, it gets so intense. It's
'Kay.
so good. I
Yeah.
loved it. But yeah, that was Selena Gomez was an executive producer for like
Oh, really?
13 episodes.
It's-
Does that mean she just threw money at it though? If she liked the project, isn't that like what
Depends.
producing?
Usually.
There's,
Yeah,
there's
there's-
varying
yeah.
degrees of producer.
Yeah, see, lots of people read the book, I guess, or I've seen it.
Oh yeah, Destiny 2.
Speaking of new shows.
Nothing's
I mean, I didn't even watch it and the trailer, and I just
Was there
heard
a
it's coming to
trailer?
PC. Well, there's something.
There was
out.
an announcement or
I
something.
just saw the picture that said Destiny, and then they just photoshopped a 2 behind the Destiny logo.
Oh.
Hey, it looks good.
No, it looks fine, but there's not really much to take from that. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I also never played the first one. Jordan, you wore the shirt a lot. What do you think of it?
Well, it was good.
What's wrong?
I heard it was super grindy.
I played like maybe 4 or 5 hours of it. It's definitely it's a little grindy and a little like I kept running to areas that I shouldn't have been going to that I wasn't leveled for. But I had I bought like the DLC pack. I really like Liz played way more of it than I did, but it's pretty good. I like the gameplay. I liked just being able to pull out just ride around on the little speeder thing. That was
Yeah.
my favorite part.
It kind of seemed to me a little bit like a MMO, tiny bit.
It is, you
What is
can
MMO?
join up with people and stuff. What is mass multiplayer online?
Massive multiplayer online.
No,
Yeah.
Is
is that it?
that
Yeah.
it? Oh, okay.
Massive
Massive multiplayer online. Okay.
online role-playing game.
That's
RPG.
MMORPG. Some of
Gotcha.
them are just MMOs, and that's massive online multiplayer game.
Your mic is off.
Huh?
No,
You-
I don't think so, is it?
And someone's saying your
Java
mic's
said.
off.
But yeah,
No.
so
Your
My
mic
goodness,
is
stupid
quiet.
mics are just blowing up.
This is like technical difficulties. We appeased the elf, did we not?
No, I don't think we did this week.
I am.
Yeah, we honestly didn't do a good job because we've been running into technical difficulties left and right.
Like 3 seconds. Oh wow, that is really quiet. Okay, thank you.
So from what I heard, Destiny, never played it, obviously, so I have no idea what the game's like. But it seems like a Diablo kind of thing. And then, so they announced Destiny 2.
It's Diablo with guns.
Yeah, exactly. And first person.
I want Taco Bell.
What the fuck?
Diablo sauce? Diablo is not like devil, so devil sauce.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Diablo,
continue.
I'm pretty sure Diablo comes from Qdoba.
Does it?
I mean, the Diablo queso.
Oh, maybe that's one thing.
I don't know if there's a specific Diablo thing at Taco Bell.
I just wanted to give my input
Anyway,
somehow, and that's the only
I don't know
way
what
could.
Spencer's looking for right now. He's just crawling under desks. It's kind of
Take
weird.
your time.
That's as usual, though.
So yeah, Destiny 2 will probably be pretty cool. Yeah, from what I heard, if they take after their recent DLCs that got better reception from the than the game, then I think it'll be,
Never
it's supposed
forget.
to be good.
Never forget Peter
Diablo sauce is
Dinklage.
at Taco Bell as well. Sorry. I was right. Diablo sauce is at Taco Bell too.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Well,
why.
I
Anyway,
apologize.
Peter Dinklage. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying never forget Peter Dinklage. Do you remember why, Jordan?
Yeah,
he was
just
in
apparently terrible voice acting or something like that.
Well, it's he wasn't like super well received, but when they rolled out that first big massive expansion DLC thing, they had Nolan North go through and re-record everything and replaced him. So he's like not even in the game at all. It was replaced with Nolan North as that character for like the DLC
How
and
long
backwards.
did they do the voice recordings for to the point where they would just like let him do that whole thing? When they like stop him after like, or did they listen back and they're like, this just is not gonna work?
I don't know.
Like how does that?
Because they released it. Or are you talking about like for?
Like how how they say they replaced like all of his stuff? Like
Yeah.
why did it get to that point? Like why wouldn't
I don't
they,
know
like,
because they
you know
released
what I
the
mean?
game with him like with the. It was just the fans didn't receive. I just didn't dig it.
okay.
Yeah, no, there was a space wizard on the moon, or there's moon wizards. I remember that from
What?
when we were doing the we did a first 5 on Destiny or whatever when the beta came
and
out.
I, for some reason, was not there for it. So
Yeah.
the one time I probably would have played Destiny.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, "There's a space wizard on the moon or whatever, moon wizards," and it was just ridiculous the line reading. But I mean, it's the dialogue, but at the same time, I guess there wasn't much personality to it. I don't know. It's funny because I didn't think his voice acting was bad at all. The game as a whole was more of a flop. Gotcha,
Interesting.
Mr. Dave.
So let me look at my topic list again. There was apparently. Well, I guess we'll talk about that when Spencer's back over here. I-60 is next week.
Insomnia.
At Insomnia. So if you're from the UK and you didn't know about that, we're going to be at I-60 the entire weekend, and we will be.
I think the roster is currently somewhat in flux, right?
Yeah, we've had there's some things that jumped around.
There was a point where it was like, it's going to be all of us. It's going to be some of us. It's okay, all of us again.
Yeah. It's kind of all over the place just because different life events happening. That's
Yeah.
kind of fiddling around with things,
Times and all
making it
that.
rough.
3 tickets to the Zelda Symphony.
Oh,
You got
nice.
3 tickets to the Zelda Symphony? Hell yeah. I totally want to go. Yeah, I totally want to go to that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Perfect.
What's Zelda again?
It's a character that runs around in a green hat and he has blonde
Oh,
hair.
I remember that.
And he
Zelda.
swings on a sword and he's like, "Oh, take that, Majora! I'm gonna steal the mask from you." And then he wakes on the wind or something. I don't know.
Yeah, those both worked actually.
Yeah.
I
Did
believe
Spencer
my
try to
mic should
jump?
work now. It was the old broken XLR that
What in the world? Why didn't we get rid of that?
I don't know if it was, but either way,
Who
it's
knows?
fixed now.
All right. Yay! We are professionals.
And
Yes.
So Insomnia 60. We're gonna be in Birmingham at the NEC. April, what are the dates? 14th to the 17th? 14th
and
to the
it's for
17th.
sure you three.
That's
right
my
now, just so
birthday.
people know.
Yes.
For sure you three. I'm possibly.
Steph's a
It's
maybe.
my birthday,
And it's
While
Spencer's
we're gone?
birthday.
April 14th.
It's just before Jordan's birthday.
What do you guys?
Because mine's when I get
Are you
back.
guys gonna
Yeah.
surprise me?
I already did my surprise for him.
Spencer, I didn't want to tell you this. I didn't want to ruin the surprise. But we have 3 tickets to the Zelda Symphony. I know how much you like Zelda and when he runs around with the sword and he hits the chickens.
Yep.
He's like that Zelda guy that's like,
Hey, listen to me. I'm trying to save the mask of Majora.
Yeah.
And then the Ganbon or whatever takes out his magic
Bon.
magic
And
And then it
call.
goes Falco.
Ganbon? Is that like Gandalf?
No, Gandon.
His name is Gandon?
Ganondorf.
Oh, I was like, really?
It's Ganondorf, and sometimes Ganon is his base
That sounds
form.
just like Gandalf.
He takes the form, and when he took a form as a Gerudo, he was called Ganondorf. But
goodness.
typically, his name's Ganon.
Okay, Zelda nerd. Anyway,
You named your dog after a Witcher 3 character.
Speaking
that
of,
was
she's down here
also
chewing
a
chili
Welsh
while
name
she's sleeping.
too. Okay,
That's not why you named your dog that.
that's a reason why I wouldn't name it something that didn't
I
pertain
wanted
to
to name
anything
her
else.
Reba, but no. Because we were thinking of a fiery redhead name, and so
When
I was like Reba.
when
and
she
then
told me, she
Sarah.
was like, "It's named after a character in Witcher, and it means love in a language."
It means love
AKA
and
is the only
love.
one I could convince her to keep because it meant something else.
That's a good explanation there.
No, Sarah's fit's great. She's sleeping though. Look how cute she is when she sleeps.
Aw, no one can see her. Anyway, Spencer, tell us about your new furry friend.
Oh, I totally went to a different area. Okay,
Well, his name is Stanley, and he likes to dress up as a wolf.
he's 56. I met him at a bakery.
He's
We bonded over our love of.
He was wearing only wolf paws.
Yep.
Only wolf paws.
When I saw that foxtail peeking out of his pants, I knew. Which I'm not trying to hate on anyone for that. It's just a little funny.
It's just different.
Yeah,
But that's-
it's not something
that's-
we're used to seeing in everyday culture.
Exactly, but you do you. What makes
Yeah.
you happy? What gets you going? What
So-
gets that train rolling?
My last update on cats was about, remember Boo Balls? Remember Boo?
Yes.
The black cat? So, I was driving home one night. I knew where the cat was, but the people actually went and got him, thankfully. They weren't awful owners. I saw him up on their balcony. He hangs up there and looks over sometimes. I was like, oh, it's
It's like,
Boo.
hey, Spencer.
And I was like, okay, good. Boo's safe. So, then after that, there was one of our friends posted on Facebook that they found a cat in Thornton, just on the streets, and it was like a baby cat. I guess a kitten is what you would call it.
Yes, that is
Some
the
people
technical
refer to them
term
as kittens.
for a baby cat.
So I went to go check it out, and we adopted it.
Aww.
Yeah.
From
really
the streets
This doesn't sound very official.
No, it doesn't. It's
When you
not
said we
official.
adopted
it's the
it.
least
So, we
official.
adopted it off the
I would
ground
say
and
you
back to our
stole
apartment.
this cat.
No, they stole it. We adopted it from the Steelers.
So let me ask you something. So you did not receive this cat from its owners
Nope.
or a pound.
I will say this: the cat was underneath what was it? It was like a balcony or something. They found it in Thornton, like not near a house. Like it was underneath
Yeah.
like this thing. So they rescued the cat, and they brought it all the way to where I live. And then I went to it, and then we adopted it. It's pretty sweet. It's a little feisty, and
Cats are always
Kittens
feisty.
are.
eating habits are very extreme.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about.
She's just very aggressive when it comes to food,
So
but she's
that-
not aggressive when she has food. So like, when I feed her, she's just like, I fucking need food. She's like, "Rah!" The second I feed her though, I can take food out of her bowl. Like that's not the issue. It's just she just
Can
wants
you
food.
pick her up?
Didn't you
Yep.
say she eats like it's
no,
her
while
last?
she's eating.
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay.
You know, she's really docile once it comes to she knows food's there. It's the absence of food that drives her insane.
Well, did you say
she
she
may have
eats
been
like it
alone
was
for
her
a little
last
while,
meal?
so-
Yeah, every meal she's getting better. I've been
Okay.
teaching her. Essentially, I hold her by the nape of her neck and I say, "Wait," and I just do that. I'm like, "Okay," and I let her eat, and
Okay.
she's getting better. She's also really young. Like she seems like she's like 4 months old.
No.
So I have no idea.
Young little kitty cat right
But
there.
she's pretty sweet. She's a little feisty, and I mean she's very well trained. She already uses the litter box. She hasn't gone on the ground once.
Hey,
great.
cats
Better
cats
knock on
don't
wood.
usually do that.
Yeah,
They-
cats are really easy to train.
Yeah.
I've never had a cat this young. My last cat was like 20. So
Yeah, that's right.
and I adopted her when she was 20.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I've raised a lot of kittens, and one of the easiest things is the potty training.
That's nice because
They
dogs
don't
are a
like
lot
messes.
harder.
They don't like messes.
Yeah,
and they don't,
most
they don't
cats
like it
are
being
very
around.
clean, and if as long as you don't give them a lot of little nooks and crannies to crawl inside, and you like, there's a way to tell if a kitten needs to go to the bathroom. It usually kind of it mews a little bit, and then it just kind of sniffs back and forth, and then you just pick it up and put it in the litter box. And usually after 1 or 2 times of doing that, they get it like that. And
cats
then
are
they're good.
I just set her in there and she was kind of like, "What the fuck?" And then she
there-
kind of just felt around and then
There's
she started going.
there's also stuff in litter that
Yeah, it makes them want to.
stimulates that kind of a
Urge.
connection with cats. So
Yeah,
that's what's also helpful.
but she's very very sweet. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's so fun.
yeah.
Kitty.
cute cats.
She's a little feisty. That's
You got a
about it.
feral cat. Yeah, I mean, it
It could
seems
be.
slightly feral. I mean, the
She
fact
could
that
have been born in like as a feral cat.
no, they would be. She'd be so much different if she was born
really?
as feral. Yeah, she'd look like, or she'd look a lot rattier. For
She
one
was
thing.
very well groomed when I got
Yeah.
her,
Yeah,
so I
she's
think she'd
beautiful.
only been on the streets for a little bit, but I have no idea.
Because feral usually indicates that they have never had human
Was
contact.
Geefius feral after a while?
I'm sure I'd say that's a classification to turn a cat feral right there. I'd tell you what.
Geefiest level.
Yes.
Yeah, Geefius is like 10.
Oh my gosh.
I'd say she's like a 2 or a 3 on the feral cat level if I were to
On the
gauge her.
geefiest scale.
On the Geefiest scale. She's very sweet though. She likes to play a lot, but she's like a biter. But she doesn't bite
Aw,
hard.
she's
She play
manly.
bites, but her teeth are really sharp.
Yeah, most kittens have very
Kitty's
sharp
name.
teeth.
That was
But
a question
she-
that was asked.
What's her name?
Yeah.
It's a good question. When we adopted her, the people who we adopted her from called her Tiny Rick
Tiny
from like
Rick.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because they have a big black cat,
know,
and so they
Rick.
were just like Tiny Rick. So we called her Tiny Rick for a bit. Then we were like, we'll call her Risa, off of the
Oh,
Overwatch
Risa.
character. But then it didn't really stick, so we just call her Kitten right now. But I don't
Okay.
want to have her name be Kitten.
That was the
So
name
he's-
of.
we still call her
his old
Risa.
cat. So it's
Yeah. So Risa's her name.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
Why
Tiny.
isn't it Tiny Rick?
It can be Tiny Rick.
What is that noise?
That you're tucking like Morty.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah.
Because Rick is like, I don't know, Morty. I don't know about that, Morty.
Oh, the new episode got released on April 1st.
Yeah, I heard they were streaming that.
And
I
then
really
they're not
need to
going
catch
to
up
release
on
the
that.
rest until July. They just released the first episode, then it's like, no more.
Yeah, I only saw like 5 or 6 episodes, but I really liked that show. That was.
Have you seen the Meeseeks episode?
I don't think so.
That's the best
That's
episode.
the best episode.
In my
No,
opinion. That's
I've
the
never
one that
watched
always
an
sticks
episode
out.
I need to watch.
The Meeseeks one and the one.
The Parasite one was pretty good.
Is that the one? Is that the one where they see the people who aren't there, or no?
It's right. The parasites take the form of like a bunch of different of each other,
That
so they have
episode
to
has the
figure
most
out.
depressing ending.
They have to figure out who is like
Not real.
becoming parasites because they just keep multiplying. So they have to like go through and start shooting them and
Yeah.
like find
Mr.
out.
Poopy Butthole.
Yeah, and
That
then
was
that's
so
when
nice.
Mr.
Because
Poopy
the episode,
Butthole-
her hands
I-
like shaking.
Because they're all like
That-
figments of their imagination. And
But
it's
Mr.
like,
Poopy Butthole was real.
yeah, and
That
it's
was
like,
so depressing.
You shot me. I fucking love that. Anyway,
Rick and Morty is very good.
it's like now nothing. It's something. It's been a long time, but it was like something along the lines of now nothing is out of the question, or my mind's completely clear. Isn't that right, Mr. Poopy Butthole? And he's just like, yep, you're right, Rick. and then more, or it was the other way around, and then Morty shot him, and then he was just like, no, because he was an actual real character.
Speaking of butts, I went to a show that
Oh,
had
yeah, you
butts in
did.
it.
Ooh.
Good transition.
Thank you. Isn't that good?
Well,
Wait,
she kind of ruined my transition.
Oh.
So
Speaking of poopy buttholes,
yeah, go ahead.
no. You're,
Oh,
You're good.
they weren't poopy butt holes.
one day we'll
But I
actually
did
do a
go.
transition that actually transitions
I
well.
thought it was good, and then you. were-
Whenever I do the
Everybody,
transitions,
everybody
though,
points it out. Like,
sure.
oh, that was a good one.
So one time I was trying to
I
make
was still
my
talking.
entrance to
Okay.
chat about our sponsor, and then Steph
we'll
just
do that.
ruined it.
We'll do
No,
that
no,
first.
no,
We can
no.
talk about.
No, go ahead.
if you don't want a poopy butthole
don't
and
be
you want
sour
a
about
healthy
it.
Well, no, this might be a
butthole-
long. This might be a long
Yeah, this could be a long
topic. So,
conversation.
Oh, okay, so we'll take
Yeah.
a quick little minute here to chat about our sponsor, good
Yes,
old
please.
Blue Apron. I actually I'm gonna be getting some Blue Apron here soon. I'm excited to try it out.
Ooh.
I'm so stoked.
Get the
a
raw
few
one.
ones.
can
So
we,
much.
we should
You
order
gotta
it for the
decide.
office, and we can do gourmet lunches.
But I
They
want
can
them.
make you food again, like in tiny
Well, no,
food.
we can get multiple orders, and
Wait,
then
no,
like,
I want it. I actually do though.
like, I'm
I
the
would.
But anyway, Blue Apron, they are the #1 fresh ingredient delivery service in the country and are making sure incredible home cooking is available to everyone, even people like me who can't cook very well, because they have instructions.
Yep, the
And that's
instructions are all you
usually.
need.
With the ingredients of the highest standards, and believe me, if there's one thing I've learned in my adult life, it's that ingredients do matter, and fresh food does matter.
But I want
because
the brown avocado.
You don't get the brown avocado. You get only the best, freshest of fresh
It tastes like
avocados.
death.
Anyway, Blue Apron strives to continue their support of a sustainable food system by partnering with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the U.S., and that'll make sure, we're not running out of food or irresponsibly raising food, because there's a lot of beef, chicken, fish that are raised irresponsibly. And because the exact amount of ingredients are shipped with each recipe, food waste is drastically reduced. So
Yeah, it's really
helping
cool,
out
too.
helping out a lot of that
so
stuff.
excited to try
And
it.
you can expect to spend under $10 a person for delicious meals. None that restaurant crap where you end up spending 20 to 30.
That's also like just
On a
going to
meh
Chipotle
meal.
is how much that is.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I do a lot of meat on my burrito, and it usually costs a lot more than that.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, definitely cheaper than eating out. And you're also able to choose from a variety of new recipes each week, as well as delivery options to make sure Blue Apron perfectly fits your needs and your needs.
And your knees.
This week, here are these recipes and this is going to be
So-
tough because I'm starving right now.
Their commercials make me
I'm
so
so
hungry.
hungry.
Spinach and fresh mozzarella pizza with olives, bell
I
peppers, and
love
ricotta salad.
mozzarella.
Sweet and sour salmon with bok choy, carrot, and ginger fried rice.
Damn.
Sounds delicious. Parmesan
go
crusted
through-
chicken with creamy fettuccine and roasted broccoli.
Oh my, that's what I want.
And then
Yeah.
baby broccoli and fontina paninis with hard-boiled egg and arugula
You
salad.
guys both look like you're like drooling at the.
Arugula.
It's
Arugula.
Both are just
sounds
like-
really
Sounds
good.
so
It's just
delicious
like
right now.
when you're at a restaurant and they're reading off the specials and stuff like that. That's just
And you're
reminds me
hungry
of.
and you're like, yes.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/hub. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. That's blueapron.com/hub. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. So
Their commercials seriously make me really hungry. They
I know,
always have
I'm
that
thinking about
ramen
it
one
now.
on Hulu. Whenever I'd watch Hulu, it'd be on there. Oh God, I'd be so hungry. I'm like, I want to cook now.
I know.
But then I'd have to go to the
I'm so
store.
excited to do it.
If only someone would deliver it to my door.
well,
Sexy food delivered to your door.
Hey.
That should be their new slogan. Blue Apron, sexy
okay,
food.
Steph, talk about
What else is
Speaking of
sexy?
sexy. Is that, I'm not going to point
Nope,
it out.
you just did. So you screwed
And then
it all
Jordan
up.
derailed it. He could have let that happen.
No,
She was
that
gonna.
was-
She was gonna
it
be like,
didn't
okay, and then
count.
she was gonna go.
No, she started saying,
This is-
see, I didn't even point it out. And she did. She messed it up. I
Speaking of
wasn't
dicks.
going to say anything.
Speaking of dicks. He's just sour because I went to the show.
Run with it. He gave you the
Okay,
transition.
I'm running with it. So I did go to a show. What was it? It was this past weekend. Yeah, it was Friday. This past Friday, and it was the Naked Magician show. Have you guys ever heard of them?
I saw the picture.
Oh, I
my
only
lord!
heard
Yeah,
of-
if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you would have seen the pictures that we took. Oh,
Yeah, you would have. You would have
Yeah.
seen the pictures.
but no, it was actually it was a fun show. Like, I mean, when you see it, there are these 2 guys from Australia, and they actually stared out as actual magicians.
It is Thunder from Down Under.
Yeah, they started
Yeah.
as actual magicians, and then they were like just kind of dicking around. And they were just so we did the VIP part, so we kind of got to hear the background afterwards. Yes, and so they were just explaining it that they had started as magicians, and one of the guys, Chris, had met the other guy. I think his name is Mike, and they
Chris
started
and Mike.
thinking of how they can make this more fun. And then one of I think it's their producer now, Sam is his name, I think. But anyway, they were like, what if, you did it nude? And so they did it, and it brings
Are they like
it's-
buff dudes?
Yeah,
Is it
they're
like
in
Magic
shape.
Mike, but
Yeah.
literally magic.
Yeah, it's really
You're
funny.
literally blocking the whole camera.
What
Yeah,
are
what
you?
is happening?
Oh, it's not?
Oh, did it die?
It seriously died right as I got up.
Oh crap!
us a break.
Seriously?
This is the fucking the most technical, difficulty-ridden podcast we've ever done.
Seriously. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Sorry. Holy hell.
Ah! We're all good.
I'm
We're
sick
all
of this
good.
elf. I'm sick of this elf.
It's all good, everybody.
all
Keep calm.
Still hear you.
Okay.
right.
They can still hear-
no idea what's happening.
Yeah, they don't know what's
iTunes
happening.
members, just
If you can hear
camera
me.
cut
Keep
out.
telling your story.
All right, so
here.
I'm curious. Are there
Okay,
in
but
the
yeah.
show?
I'll give as much away as I can without ruining it in case people do want to go see them because
Yeah,
it's
what's-
really fun.
I'm curious as to what the content is of the show because they can't be completely naked, can they be? Or are they?
Well, I don't want to give anything away, but you get your money's
Do you get
worth.
peeks every once in a while? Like it's not like full on or.
I mean,
They're called
see,
naked magicians. You see their dongs, right? I wouldn't go if I went.
How is it spoilers? Like how is it
Well, because
spoilers?
I guess if you they are as naked as they can be legally. I'll say that because
Yeah.
there is a law that you're not allowed to show that stuff
Can-
in America. You're not allowed
I
to.
gotcha.
Can you
So I
see
feel like in
their
America,
penises?
Well, I
mean-
think she's trying to make it so they don't get in trouble, but they might have shown their dicks. Maybe.
Wink with your left eye because it's
didn't.
not on camera.
You didn't see we didn't see any dong. I mean, you see as much as you can. That so they explained to us after the show that in America you are not allowed to show your parts.
Did
it's
they realize
illegal.
that everyone
So
in
they-
America has those parts?
huh?
Or a combination?
Hey, the Chicago theater wouldn't even let us take our shirts off.
Yeah, so
It's just this country is so weird with the
Yeah,
fact that you can
that's what
show
they're saying. They were like-
I watch Game of Thrones and I watch a man's head get crushed, and
While he's going down
but
on a
of
lady.
course in the same Game of Thrones they
Yeah.
also show sex there.
So-
But I don't know.
So
It seems
you see as much as
strange.
you can see, and it's really fun because they usually have like a hat there. So I mean, they turn around plenty, so you see plenty.
You see their
just don't
balls
see
between
their-
their legs.
There's like a hat or a bunny or a person.
a
in front
bunny.
of them.
Oh, that poor bunny.
It's really. They've had that bunny forever. It's like an inside joke, I guess.
I'm gonna nibble on that carrot.
Sorry. She's sleeping on
Sarah's cam. I'm sorry. We're seeing a.
There's a
delayed shot here.
Yeah. Oh, she's so cute and she's sleeps.
What was your favorite part of the Naked Magician show?
The magic was really good. They going. I thought it was just gonna be kind of like you.
Just step over it.
Hold on. The show has to stop for Jordan.
Jordan, why don't you just step over it?
Fantastic.
You
You
stepped
jumped
over that
a damn
whole
gate.
thing.
You can't send
Oh,
them
did I forget my coffee?
I'll stay here.
Done. Just lay down.
We're almost done.
They did really good magic. I thought going into it just kind of be like more of like a comedy show. Because you'd think maybe like Naked, like it'd be funny. And it was really funny, but they also did a lot of really cool magic, and I love magic.
Can you
so.
tell the girth from behind the hat? I'm just curious.
You could probably, I mean,
They
yeah.
had to see each other
Okay,
naked
well-
during practice. When do you think the
I'm
first
sure.
time they saw each other were they like, cool, we can do this?
Probably. The one guy though, Chris, his tongue is massive. Like, I'm sorry, but
A
it's like
massive
kiss
tongue?
like long.
Oh,
It's
like long.
Remember in White Chicks?
I was
when,
thinking more girth when you said massive.
Oh.
Like he had just had a really fat tongue. He's talking like this all the time.
You know that scene in White Chicks when he's eating the oysters
I've
and
never
his
seen
tongue
White
comes
Chicks.
up? Oh, that's right. I got so mad at you in the video about that.
People always get so surprised when I say
I
I've seen
love White Chicks.
They're making
but,
a second one.
No, he did
What?
something.
They're making a second White Chicks, I believe.
Are they?
I'll look it up. You guys keep
I
talking.
love
No,
the first one.
I-
Yeah, look it
I-
up. I
I
want to
believe
know
you.
because I love the first one. It's like one of the only Wayne's Brothers movies I
I'd be
like.
surprised.
But yeah, no, it was really funny. But yeah, his tongue is huge. They did some sexual joke about it, and he put it out there, and it was
I
like,
can really
holy
eat a girl
hell.
out.
Yeah, but the age demographic of the show was all over the place. But a lot of people were like what?
Don Rickles died.
Oh,
Don Rickles is one of the best and oldest and dirtiest comedian. Well, not dirty, but he's kind of. he
Did
does
you
a lot
ever
of-
see that guy?
Oh man,
can I see
Yeah,
a
that's
picture?
how
of
old
this
is
guy?
he?
90.
Yeah, he was pretty old. Anyway, rip Don Rickles.
Also,
Don
guys,
Rickles.
Marlon Wayans expresses interest in White Chicks too.
The first one was funny. I don't want them to do another one. Like they don't need to do any more with it. But yeah,
It's also
anyway,
weird
it's a great
doing
show.
sequels
if you
later.
see them on tour, it's really fun. And then if you do VIP, you can take a photo with them, and then they kind of go through everything.
Is the hat like glued to their crotch?
No.
They have to. So they
I
take
don't
the
want to
hat
give
off.
anything away,
What's
but
there,
they can take the hat off for sure.
what's there when they
So.
take the hat off?
Nothing. That's what they talked about when we were asking questions, because they bring people on stage, and a lot of the times the women or men or whoever they bring up they're intoxicated, so they've had plenty of drunk people who it's very possible for them
Touch your
to.
dick.
Is there a dong there when they take the hat away?
Yeah, there's nothing there. They literally just
How
have a
did you
hat
not
covering
see it then?
because they hold the hat. I mean, it's
very coordinated.
They
Okay, I
coordinate
trust
it.
them.
You
I mean,
probably get
they know what they're
sneak
doing.
peeks if you're in the front row.
I'll give a little smidge away. They do take off the hat, but there's a person in front of them. So, and then they put it's so.
And depending
fun.
on your
you
angle.
you can see it in a video. So what they do is they do a magic trick with the rope.
Is the person going like?
When you do
And-
this, they do a magic trick.
Don't Photoshop anything. They do a magic trick with the rope where you cut it and then it has a knot and then you can it's really cool. But so they bring up somebody, to do the trick for them, and so they are say you want to be the magician, and so they're like, yeah, I want to be the magician. He's like, okay, well you're gonna need the magic inside of you, and then he steps behind them and then puts the hat on top. Get it? So it's you picked her up.
She was chewing on the wall and licking the insides of
She
the
likes
wood.
to eat balls.
I wanted to.
tobacco.
Look, it's in your fucking whiskers.
Oh,
Ew.
squirrel. But anyway, yeah, it's a really funny show, and it was a lot funnier than I thought it'd be, and they're really nice guys, and
The picture
All
was
right.
great.
Chris
it's so funny.
Angel v.
Oh my gosh, Naked Magicians, Chris Angel. They
Okay.
brought up Chris Angel, and I was like, don't spend your money.
Chris
on
Angel was
That
awful when we saw
That
him.
was terrible.
Are you guys ready? Yeah! I'm gonna appear in the crowd.
Remember that music was like, burn, 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 burn. I just spit, and then that massive bunny thing comes out of the dark, and he's like, God, it was so bad.
Well, it was so weird because
so
it was
bad.
almost like a historic video of him half the time because he's like, I grew up here and this is what I did. And he's like, no, I'm in the audience. And it's like, that's not you.
I always feel so bad for those Vegas people. Could you imagine doing that same show multiple times a day?
Hi
every
guys, it's Britney
effing
Spears.
Day?
Yeah,
They tweak it
Britney.
every like several months. Like every
I don't think they do.
really? Well, no. They add new tricks every once in a while, like
You'd
once a
think.
year or
That's
something
what I
like that.
thought until I
Chris
saw-
Angel had a show where he like it was a show where he was. I mean, he was probably doing it for the show.
Yeah.
But it was him coming up with different things for his acts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually thought that show was kind of all right. I never watched the Mind Freak bullshit, and seeing him live was just kind of disappointing because David Copperfield was way better, and then it sounds like the Naked Magicians
Yeah,
would
they're
probably
really
be a pretty fun
They
show.
just started a couple years ago, but yeah, it's fun. But like I was saying, the age demographic was crazy. There were so many people like in their like 60s to like 80s there. Like it was just a fest. Of
I'm here for a
people.
show.
We were the thirstiest city they'd had, I guess, because like as soon as they got there, they're like, "Show us your dicks," and like
I was about to say that as a
freaking
joke.
out. There were like these women next to me that were like obviously these like soccer moms, and they were all like trash, and they're like, "Wow!"
I mean, that's what Thunder Down
It was
Under
just
is. It's for
crazy.
middle-aged women
Yeah.
to go there and be like, man, I want to see a young guy's dick.
Yeah, it was
like all
crazy, but it was
those-
so fun.
all those moms who like
fun.
Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey,
Bless you.
who are like in the front row during the movie, like, "Oh, Jacob!"
I worked that. That was when I
How many-
first started at Regal. That was my biggest. That was one of the first nights I worked there was the Twilight premiere, and
Damn.
it was like terrifying.
Yeah.
How
'Cause
many
there were
people
so
do you
many
think
people.
flicked the bean in the audience you were at?
The Naked afterwards, I'm sure plenty, but during I don't know.
I caught a sneak peek.
There were a lot.
It
There
was
was a few drunk
girthy.
women in the bathroom. I heard saying some things that were like ready to go. We'll just say that. It's like, wow.
The second I get home, Henry's not even gonna know what hit him.
Oh, Henry, I'm in heat.
Oh my gosh.
I'm also
Yeah.
having a hot flash.
Oh,
My!
Oh, what was that? What was
That was a
even-
hot flash. That
Oh,
was a
I thought that was totally something else.
Well, I don't know who goes, "Oh my!" during a hot flash.
I mean, it's like
That was a
you're getting
climax
scorched
joke
by
you
Have,
fire,
you, have
right?
you ever been at the grocery store and an
the
old lady
hell?
next to you just goes, oh my!
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Henry,
I'm having
take me
horrible
now.
images. Everyone, let's move
So
on.
I just to change the
Yeah.
subject, I had
Henry,
I looked
thank
over,
God.
I looked
Henry
over,
took me between the bread.
I looked over Twitter
Sarah's
just
fucking
because I
ears.
wanted to see what was trending that we could do, just a search of. There's really nothing besides Don Rickles, sadly. Dustin Johnson fell down the stairs.
Who's that?
So he's currently the #1 ranked golfer. And the
oh,
Masters are this
How- is he,
weekend.
like-
Oh, no.
fell down
Is he
these
older, so
stairs?
it's like,
The
Stairs.
stairs in America. You know these stairs?
No,
What stairs?
anyone that's a good golfer is not old.
were they stone? Were they wood? Were they carpet?
I thought you were saying, was he stoned when he fell down the stairs?
Stoned?
That's really sad that he fell. I mean, a
he
young,
a-
spry guy like himself
Yeah.
should not be falling. It's also National
old is he?
Burrito Day.
We were just talking.
Also,
Taco Bell.
someone tweeted at Wendy's today and said, how many retweets would it take to get free chicken nuggets for a year? They said 18 million. And so I retweeted it. I think it's currently at 290K retweets. So if you guys want to try to get this guy to 18 million retweets for a year full of chicken nuggets, go to my
It sounds
Twitter.
like
Did we get any of
it
these
sounds like
chicken nuggets?
Wendy's created a fake account months ago, years ago even.
No, it was the legit Wendy's.
This is a plant. No. I'm saying they created the thing just to get awareness for Wendy's. Sometimes you have to think about, or they just paid some schmuck to be like, "Hey, you're gonna
Yeah.
do this tweet and it'll be."
Or it's some meme boy saying it and they just gave him some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Man.
hey, either way we get promotion.
They're pretty savage.
What?
Wendy's. So you still...
Oh, yeah, Wendy's is hilarious
Wendy's
on
is at the
Twitter.
What did they say?
Savage.
Read out loud what
Wendy's
they
is
said.
often pretty
They,
funny.
they just tweet at McDonald's.
Sometimes they'll
so you'll
all
still
tweet at
use
each other.
frozen beef in most of your burgers in all of your restaurants. Asking for a friend. That's all they said.
Damn.
Sometimes
Wendy's.
they'll tweet back at each other and stuff. It's always really
They
good.
tweet at Game Grumps a lot too.
Yes, no, the ones with Game Grumps are the
Plot
some of the
twist,
funniest ones.
all these restaurant social media accounts are all ran by the same person that's contracted out by every single one.
You know what they sell at those restaurants, Jordan?
What?
Hope.
Pepsi. And you know what happened recently?
Oh, Lordy.
The
Dun, dun, dun,
Pepsi
dun, 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 dun,
advertisement.
dun.
So
With
recently,
Kendall Jenner.
yesterday,
Kendall
yeah,
Jenner.
they released a Pepsi ad of an inspirational soda commercial Essentially, what happened is in the commercial, there's a bunch of artists, I'll say. There's a guy playing the cello. Kendall Jenner's taking photos for a photo shoot. And there's a protest going on outside, or not even a protest, maybe just a march for equality.
Yes.
And people are just like, yeah, go equality. They make a point of showing multiple religions, multiple ethnicities, which is all great. And so
Very diverse city.
Yes, very diverse city.
Yeah.
And so the guy's playing cello. He's like, well, there's people outside. And throughout this, Kendall Jenner's like, or is it Kylie? It's Kylie Jenner.
No, it's Kendall.
No, it's
Oh, it
Kendall.
is Kendall?
Kendall
Okay.
Jenner is like modeling with this blonde wig, and she's just like they just keep cutting to her looking, going like,
There's people outside.
what's going on outside?
Yeah.
Until eventually she sees the cello guy, and the cello guy's like, come on, Kendall Jenner. And she's like, oh, okay. And so she goes out into
And
the
she's
crowd.
like, I should do something. And then she takes off her wig and like gives it to this lady and then like walks out. And then all of a sudden she's in like jorts.
Jorts?
It just cuts to her and
just
she's in a
sounds
bunch of
weird.
jean stuff.
Yeah, I watched it.
Well, and at some point during this, Pepsi
Denim.
comes up. Like, they've been casually drinking
Isn't each person like
Pepsi.
drinking Pepsi throughout this entire commercial?
Different Pepsis. There's Pepsi
Different-
Max,
yeah,
Pepsi,
there's all
Diet
kinds of
Pepsi.
different Pepsis.
The black can Pepsi.
With the logo out,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes.
And so they're out there drinking,
Always.
and they get to these cops standing in a line.
And
do
what
you-
Kendall's kind of like leading the crowd at this point, somewhat. Not
Yeah,
she's,
like,
but
she would totally be doing
she's the
that.
one who walks to the cops.
Yeah.
And she walks up to this one cop, gives him a Pepsi, and the guy's like,
And the crowd cheers.
and then he's like, and then he looks at the cop, he's like, what, was I supposed to not take the Pepsi?
And then world peace Pepsi.
Yeah.
So I
And
might have missed the
people
first
are
part, but
livid.
what's the controversial part about this?
So, okay.
It's just stupid.
if you,
Just,
Yeah, it's
just
just-
stupid. Okay,
if you
I
look
didn't
at
know
the-
if you'd mentioned it earlier.
there is a controversial part. If you look at it in a very simplistic soda commercial way, there really is no problem. If you look at it at the simplest form, just people drinking Pepsi.
I get what they were trying to do.
If you look into
Yeah.
socially what it's about, like, it's great that all the equality stuff and stuff they said, but it kind of undercuts the actual protests and rallies people have been doing,
Yeah.
and how some police, not all, have been beating people,
Yeah,
stuff like that,
it's-
and to
Not
say
like
that.
giving them Pepsi fixes it.
And they're just
Yeah.
drinking like Pepsi. And so people kind of jumped on this and were like
Yeah,
tweeting out
went-
pictures.
Twitter went
people
nuts.
were
It
so
blew up.
angry.
And they were
yeah.
tweeting about how like pictures of people getting beaten by the police and saying, oh, they should have had a Pepsi.
Side by
Yeah.
side with her handing her the Pepsi.
Now I
don't
get
see how that's like.
yeah, I get the criticisms kind of, but that's totally not what Pepsi was trying to entail. And a lot of people are saying this was a chess move by Pepsi. They wanted people to freak out about this. I genuinely think they're like, let's try to show equality and then bring Pepsi into it, which is stupid, don't get me wrong. But it's also, they're just trying to spread a semi-decent, shittily put out message. And yeah, it's Pepsi, it sucks.
Weird.
Yeah, it's
That
just- it's
doesn't
not
seem
really full on clear
That's
what it's-
really far out. Like, that's a stretch to get upset about. I don't see how.
Well, I then tweeted about it last night. I said, genuinely curious, what is everyone having a problem with about Pepsi? I had already formulated my own opinion by this point. I was curious
Yeah.
You
about.
were trying to get some responses.
Right, right.
I was going to get some responses, some
educational-
hot tweets, maybe get some interactions, and I was genuinely curious to some degree. And I was met with not very nice people.
Oh my.
They were
Well,
like,
Twitter, you know, people
what
are
was it?
passionate
Do you
on
not
that.
have the cognitive ability to see that Pepsi is trying to exploit Black Lives Matter protests to sell their drink? And I'm like, okay, I can understand that point. If you didn't fucking insult me to start off, just say, hey, you know, people like they're trying to exploit Black Lives Matter protests to sell Pepsi. I'd be like, okay, I
Ouch.
can see how that can be offensive and how Pepsi probably should not have done that. But instead, then people were like, wow, Spencer, you're really sensitive. Because I replied and said, that was a little rude. And I'm like, is it sensitive for me to respond and say, don't insult my intelligence while I'm asking a question? Or is it more sensitive for someone to see a simple question and be, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you even ask that question? It seems to me like that's the more sensitive part of all of this. And I'm kind of confused as to why this is such a big issue. Like, I understand it's shitty for Pepsi to exploit a whole movement that
Yeah.
that a ton of people, including myself, have been a part of to sell their drink. I don't think that was necessarily their intention, but it also seems like a strange thing to do when there's like kids being gassed in Syria yesterday and a lot of other things. Like, that was the most talked about thing, and it was shitty, don't get me wrong, But in the whole grand scheme of things, it seemed like that was a strange thing to make a big deal about when there's so much worse shit going on out there.
Well, it's kinda like
Everything
one of
should
those
have
things-
its fair view, but the Pepsi commercial is much less important than an actual protest or a legit rally about something important. There is so much more attention on that subject as opposed to like different rallies that have happened in the past few months.
Yeah.
So, and Dex had a good point too, whereas like he was saying pretty much what I just said, which is that it's strange this is getting so much attention when legit problems
seems like
are happening.
it was a attempt to try and like just
they
make
just-
happy like
kinda
not trying to
missed the
hide the fact that unpeaceful protests are problematic. Law enforcement has, but
Which, by the way, every protest I've been a part of, the police enforcement has been incredibly
I don't think
nice.
recently there's been any.
Well, I've been to 2 or 3 since the election, and every single one the police have been very respectful. They've given people high fives at the thing. They've just been there to keep the peace. Is pretty much all they're there for.
And you've been to
Granted,
the ones
this is
in
not
Denver,
all
right?
police, but it's also all police aren't just shitty. And I get Pepsi's message was not what people were preferring, I guess.
Yeah,
but
well,
it's also strange when it's just fucking Pepsi, and I get they're trying to exploit someone to sell soda, but this is a lot of inferring, and Pepsi apologized for it and said, we're sorry we put Kendall Jenner as the face of this. It was intended to be a good message.
Yeah, because it
just-
seems like their intentions were good in this. It's not like they were, trying to play with fire, trying to, exploit a certain bad events that have happened. It seems like they're legitimately trying to be like, oh, hey, everyone get together. Who knows though behind all the marketing schemes?
Yeah.
I can
It
go
was
into
a
an
very
entire
poorly-
Jesse and Ventura rant on this.
I was just gonna say
It was a very poorly executed ad as well. Like the whole Kendall Jenner stuff where she's just
I'd
like,
have to see it.
Yeah, like
Just-
Janice and
it seems
McGrath.
like
it's
it's
also
pretty
2.5
garbo.
minutes.
Yeah, it's
Why
very
is it so long?
Every once in a while, companies will do that, or they'll release kind of like short film commercial thing, get people talking.
Yeah.
Oh, they got people talking.
It's all about
I
the
just-
way people are talking these days.
Fucking idiots. My favorite tweet about it was from Kumail Nanjiani. He was just like, so we just need to give Trump, Putin, and the Assad a Pepsi, and everything will be solved.
That's pretty good.
I think
all
it's
we
a
need.
very
See,
funny
I see
joke.
It's funny. I
Yeah.
don't see how that's like that's more something that in the past like 5 years it's turned into this. 5 years ago you see something like that, it's like, pfft, what in the world is this? This is ridiculous.
But right
like,
now it's a hot topic.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh goodness.
But to be honest, I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and
The
I was like,
internet
they're
needs
just
something to
trying to
occupy
show
itself with.
that they have similarities. I think that's the point of the thing. I don't think it's supposed to say that Pepsi will solve your problems. I think what it's saying is some people, like, they were just trying to be like, hey, do you want a Pepsi? It's an act of kindness. Maybe they
'Cause-
both like Pepsi in some universe.
Yeah, it's-
And
it's all about,
they handed it
like-
over, and it's like, you know what? I do like these acts of kindness. It's not saying Pepsi's going to cure cancer.
You know what Coke should do now?
Oh,
Oh.
Coke.
All right,
Snap
Coke.
back.
Step up
Coke.
to the plate.
This. I would just like 5% of whatever you make off of this new ad that you're about
Okay,
to
let's
do
hear it.
after I pitch it. So it's pretty much the same thing. Who's the opposite of Kendall Jenner?
Her sister.
Let's go
Or do you
with
mean
Emma
like-
Watson.
Richie.
Nicole Richie's not the opposite of Kendall.
Emma Watson. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like a Pepsi ad. People think it's like Pepsi just revising their first ad.
Yep.
But when Emma Watson goes up to this guard or the riot officer with a Pepsi, he's like, "No, I drink Coke." And then his friend hands him a Coke, and then he punches her in the face.
And then they storm the protesters with riot shields.
Coke, and they're like, "Ah!"
Using the riot shields just push everyone back.
"You're welcome, Coke."
Oh my gosh, Coke.
Hello.
Goodness.
I also saw a good ad where it was like the only Pepsi ad that's needed is you go to a restaurant and someone says, "Can I have a Coke?" And they're like, "Sorry, we only have Pepsi. Is that okay?" And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah. See, the thing is, when someone says that, I say, no, that's not okay. What else do you
Well,
have?
people offer me.
I prefer Pepsi.
I think the only Sprite-like thing I reject is 7-Up. I don't like 7-Up.
Sierra Mist. Oh,
It's.
Sierra
Oh yeah,
Mist.
you hate Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist is so stupid.
So sad.
I don't
Sierra.
understand how people can drink it and be like, "This is like Sprite." It's not.
Now you know how I feel like when I'm drinking Pepsi.
Hey,
Pepsi
man,
and
Pepsi's
Coke are
good.
gross
Wait,
to
okay,
me, but I
Pepsi
just
or
don't like the
Coke?
flavor.
Pepsi or Coke?
I hate both. I would choose Dr. Pepper root beer.
Okay. Pepsi Coke.
Pepsi.
Pepsi Coke.
Coke. He's a Coke.
Pepsi, Stephanie.
I'm a diet Pepsi.
You know what I am? I'm a big K cola type of guy.
Yeah, I grew up with RC Cola. I grew up with
RC, yeah.
Royal Crown.
Ever since I was old enough to drink pop, it was always store brand. Store brand was the
Dirty Pop.
I think my dad
that's such a
would
good song.
always flip for actual vanilla Coke, but then all the other crap we bought was just store brand.
He's like,
Go, Sarah, go.
Get him.
Your head's shiny.
Anyway, as far as
I think as a whole, though,
puppy love.
as a whole, it's creating discussion. I haven't seen it, so I can't form like a really good opinion. Oh my!
oh Jesus, Sarah, wait until after the stream.
Sarah's, I told you, you're never allowed to
go.
see
Yeah.
men, ever. She's not allowed to date.
Well,
Is
she
it-
can't.
Sorry, Dan.
But no, she's
can't
clean
date.
now. She can go with whoever she wants.
She
no
has-
repercussions.
The only
no
person she's
repercussions.
No repercussions.
ever wanted to do anything with is probably Mona, my mom's dog.
Mona's so
We've
sweet.
had to get her off Mona a couple times by accident.
I'm
'cause she
tasty.
gets
But
a
the
little
thing is,
hyper.
yeah, the commercial may have been shitty. The message may have not been what Pepsi was intending, and people can respond to it however they want. If they think it's offensive, that's totally within
Creates
their right.
discussion, and
But
the more discussion,
Pepsi
whatever.
took the video down, issued an apology. I think
did?
it's kind of clean cut now. Pepsi was sorry. I mean, unless you are a conspiracy theorist and believe that Pepsi
I don't think
articulated that move.
they weren't trying to do anything bad.
Yeah.
No
Listen
one would
here,
put that much
guys.
money in it because now, like, boycott Pepsi is trending.
That's
and, like,
stupid.
yeah, which is also stupid. Pepsi sucks. Just don't drink it.
Hey, I love Pepsi though.
Also, I believe H3H3 is a very big Pepsi supporter. He likes Pepsi Max. So there's plenty of Pepsi lovers, but it felt like a strange thing to get mad about on a Wednesday afternoon. But it's fine. If you can believe whatever you like. I'm not here to tell you
I
what you
think
believe.
everyone's just getting, sick of complaining about what Trump's doing, so they're looking for something else to go for.
Yeah, but it seems like this is the type of stuff. This is
like,
the type
I'm
of
getting outta
stuff
here.
that people always say that
said
the
the
government
keyword.
tries to put these things out there to distract us from war.
I was just about
like-
to explain an entire segment on what the government is doing at this second to influence the massive corporations
Like-
that produce products to be able to make the consumers forget about their political problems in their country. These gangs in Wall Street. I meant Washington there, but there's also gangs in Wall Street. I'll get on that at another
I
topic.
think that's legit though. Like I think that's something that does happen from time to time. It seems weird to get mad about it though. But believe what you want. I'm just ranting at this point.
Yep, bunch of rants.
That's
Rants.
Right in the water.
Mr. Pibb doesn't taste like Dr. Pepper.
I was like,
Remember
I
they said
love
it was
Diet
fluoride?
Dr.
It was an advanced
Shouldn't drink
chemical
diet, it's bad for the-
reformation of the Pepsi recipe.
They're
put in your
changing our
waters.
genetic code as put in by the alien overlords. They want to change us into their. I'm turning
Into
into
their
Richard Nixon.
reptilian species that they have crawling under the ground as we speak.
Man.
Not more than 10 to
Have
15
you ever
feet
seen
in some
the
locations.
ingredients list of an Oreo pie? That's all ingredients
Of an
to
in
change
Oreo
our
pie?
kids.
Red dye number 6.
If you rearrange if you rearrange the letters just right, it reads.
No, the better one. If you rearrange the letters of the Constitution, that's the code to rewrite all of our genetics. It's the
National treasure right
future.
now, but, like,
Exactly.
Passed
They
on
should
from
do
our
national-
forefathers who inherited the knowledge from the alien race
They're
that touched
trying to turn
down.
us into the Kool-Aid man.
And Benjamin
Jumping
Gates is
through
going to save
walls,
us all.
breaking
Why
our
didn't they do
society.
that? National Treasure would have been 50 times better with Jesse Ventura instead of Nicolas Cage. They
Surprised he's not in there at all.
opportunity
Anyway,
missed.
When are they going to complete that trilogy?
Never. Sorry.
thank you for watching.
I don't
Ow.
know.
Thank you for watching,
Oh, done?
everyone.
That's it.
It's been a fun Hubcast.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
And thank you so much to Blue Apron for sponsoring this episode. We'll see you guys not next week. Maybe. Wait,
No,
shoot. When do
we
we leave?
leave. The-
Do we leave on Thursday?
We leave
or?
on
You
Thursday.
guys leave the 12th.
Okay, we'll see how we're doing because we might have to do a pre-recorded Hubcast or something for that
Yeah.
one. I'm not
Or
really
we could
sure.
do maybe one
Just-
earlier in the week or something like that
yeah,
before we
we'll
go.
see. There could be
Sheesh.
time and
Keep
stuff.
your eyes on the tweeter.
We've all been. Did you stop it, Spencer? No. Oh, you were just saying bye. I was just gonna say we've all been streaming quite a bit recently. So
Yeah.
Individually.
Are
sweet.
you?
So Spencer will be streaming tonight.
Hearthstone expansion.
Very nice.
Do you guys have it? Do you guys have set
I don't know.
schedules? Do you guys have
I'm going to
schedules?
start a schedule when I get back from England. I didn't
Yeah,
So
I'll figure
Spencer's-
something out.
Yeah, I
Streaming
do
tonight.
every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Mostly late night streams, but I'm going to be
Jordan
doing some
does-
morning streams soon too.
When do you stream?
I don't know, just whenever.
And I'm streaming this weekend.
What?
I just decided right now.
Ooh,
No
Steph's going
world.
to be doing
I'm gonna
Walking
become
Dead.
a streamer.
You gonna be doing Telltale Walking
Bandwagon.
Dead?
Maybe, yeah.
You should do
I
it.
asked people what I should do.
hair blue first.
I have to dye my hair blue.
Speaking of dyeing hair blue,
Steph
Do it
wouldn't get
before the
hair
England
dye.
trip. Do it the England trip, and that way you'll have blue hair the entire
Stephanie
time.
wouldn't get the dye for me. She
You
said
know
specifically.
what he did though? Remember when it was
Anyway,
a blizzard
bye
outside?
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember when it was snowing